This week we're going cover to cover on Dating After the End of the World by Jeneva Rose. I'm Sarah Lyles.
And I'm Jamie Livingston, and we are so approachable. This was an interesting read, to say the least.
Yeah, was it what you expected?
I wasn't really sure what to expect with this book, but I think it was... I'm going to have to say no. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I also am not super familiar with zombies. Okay. So you said you were like a Walking Dead fan.
Oh, yes.
Was this what you were expecting?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. What you got for your 3 words?
All right, gruesome, unrealistic, and exhausting. What about yours?
Okay, I have juvenile, stressful, and grotesque.
Oh, yes, all accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your second word?
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic. Okay, but this is like the apocalyptic and sci-fi, well, kind of sci-fi,
yeah.
But the fantasy, this isn't real.
Right.
You didn't find the plot or the premise realistic, or what? I want to dig into that one.
Sure. The love story.
Okay.
That's what I didn't feel like. It had nothing to do with the zombies, really. Okay. It was more of the, enemies to lovers, the timing, the pacing felt very unrealistic.
Yeah, I think one of our reviews had said it was forced.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
I mean, they are at the end of the world to where they're probably thinking they're never going to see anybody else. So maybe, but yeah, I felt very unrealistic in that.
Okay. I was wondering if you were thinking it was more of this virus taking over, not realistic. I mean, we lived through COVID, so we understand that, viruses can mutate and can come up with some crazy things. So did you find that interesting or believable?
After COVID, I actually really did. I think COVID made me realize how believable and how accurate it could be that they could literally get all of us sick within a moment. And it is scary.
I have to agree. I mean, I thought that her initial response as a doctor, I thought that she was like, well, every year there's a new virus and something like people come in with flu-like symptoms and we send them home and they come back. But for it to have taken such a hold within 24 hours, like, how did you feel? I mean, that was like the opening of the book. You're in this ER and people are losing their minds.
Right.
And turning into biters immediately, like that was insane.
You just have to watch The Walking Dead. I mean, I guess that's probably why it didn't surprise me. Because it was just like, it was really, to me, like, okay, that was great. Yes, I love her reaction. Like, so far, like, okay, it's just people getting sick. They're going to come back in 24 hours. There are those people that are searching for drugs or people that are, the man cult or things like that. But when they started like losing their memories and then biting, it was like, wow, okay, awesome. I did feel like her fiance, the way he responded, I was a bit shocked. I don't know. I just felt like he wasn't as manly.
Yeah, I can see that. What about the fact that they decided to abandon the hospital and run for their lives?
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yes, 100%. But they're doctors, and I think his response was, but these are our patients.
Sure.
And she said, oh, no, these are not our patients anymore.
No. I mean, I guess probably in her thinking, imagine growing up in her life, right? She was bullied because of her dad's way of like working to this doomsday, this whole bunker that he was creating and protecting. And so in her mind, it was like, I mean, it felt to me like she was like, this is never going to happen. We're doing all this for nothing. But then when it happened, it was like, oh, I'm not shocked, but these people are no longer people. And so the commitment we made as doctors, it's not valid. It's now null and void.
Right. So they make it home to their apartment. We're talking about Casey and Nate, and they're locked up in their apartment.
It was like 6 weeks.
6 weeks later.
Yes.
So what did you think about that timeline? Because that, to me, I kind of I don't know if I struggled with it or not. I mean, they were able to survive for those 6 weeks off of the food that they had in their house.
Yes.
And they said they scavenged the neighbor's
Right.
apartment,
Yeah.
but they didn't go outside. They didn't ever leave. Do you think that's believable or plausible? Could you survive for 6 weeks without getting more groceries or leaving your house?
I mean, no. Could you?
I feel like we might have enough rations. We have a lot of those like military MREs, like the meals
Yes.
that you can just boil water or something.
Right.
Like we've got those stashed up and a lot of canned goods. And if you were rationing them,
Sure. Okay.
but
Yes.
like the prospect of that, like what was their plan from there?
I mean, obviously, it didn't sound like they had one. I mean, were they just going to stay there forever?
Right. And that's where my mind started wondering, like, what is going on with everybody else? Because journalist, I want to, like, how are they getting any information? They're just looking out of the curtain. Like, they're
Right.
keeping the windows closed and everybody's shut in. And so she came up with her own terms, the biters and gnomes. Like, that
Yep.
wasn't...
And the burners.
Yeah,
right.
that wasn't a collective societal thing, because when she goes to her dad's compound, they're like, burners, what do you mean?
Right.
And like, oh, that word I invented for the people who just are trying to burn everything down.
Right.
So I just was trying to picture what society as a whole was devolving into.
Yeah.
Like, what is the government doing right now? There's got to be people who are still not sick that are like, how is the world going to survive beyond this? There's got to be people. And I was just very confused with the timeline throughout, because jumping ahead, when they go back to visit the hospital for the raid, I was like, well, why are all of these creatures still in this hospital? Like, it's been 7-8 weeks at this point. Shouldn't there be other places for them to go and hang out? But again, I don't know what zombies are thinking.
They're not. They don't have brains. Don't you know they have maggots coming out of their, they're oozing black blood or,
Right,
whatever
they
it
want
is.
to eat brains.
Right, they do. And so I envision they're not going, again, if you've watched Walking Dead, please help me with this one, because Jamie just doesn't understand, because this is what happens. They are just kind of roaming. They're just kind of like in their lull. To me, I'm like, well, why would they leave? They're just in their little movement. They have no brains. They're just not thinking.
Right, so why are they still inside the
How are
building?
they going to get out? They don't know how. I mean,
Okay.
They may not know where a door is. They don't know what a door is. I mean,
Okay.
they're probably walking into walls for all we know.
Right,
Yes.
that's what I'm picturing now. They're just like bouncing off of things and turning around. But
Until they smell the blood.
it seemed right. Okay, so when they are on the scent of something, that's when
Yes.
they pick up their pace and have a little more purpose.
Right. They're animalistic almost.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you wrapping your head around more of this?
I mean, yes, but this is different. I mean, even Casey talks about it, and she's like, they're not zombies. They're biters.
Right.
Like, there's different levels of this.
Correct.
So, I don't know. So they're in their apartment, and they draw the attention of the burners.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the concept of burners? Does something like that exist in The Walking Dead?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, there is. And that's why, again, I was like, well, this literally, and then I do wonder, how much of this concept did she maybe pull from something like The Walking Dead? Because it was so popular. I mean, it went on for so long, and people loved it. And then when, her dad threw up a sign, show me zombies, to me, yes, there are the people that just want to kill everyone. And they're finally like, I can get away with murder, literally, and no one's going to stop me.
So, what is the government doing in that show?
There is no government,
There's,
girl.
Nothing. Nobody's in charge of anything.
No.
It's just a free for all.
Pretty much, yes.
Olden days. There's no sheriff in
I
town.
mean, there sure is in the
there's
compounds.
definitely somebody who's
in charge.
got the power.
Correct. I guess my more question to you, because you're more getting into this, not under, you're not in the realm of where I'm picturing this Walking Dead moment, right? How did you feel about the burners knocking on the door and then coming in that whole scene?
The burners, I don't fully understand. I mean, I understand the depravity of humanity.
Correct.
And so when given the opportunity to kind of go down that avenue. I can see where people would choose that road and to just do whatever the heck they want. I can see that. I don't understand unleashing that on, like, the normal people or, like, I don't see how every single one of them would absolutely want the world to burn or for there to be nothing left. That's hard for me to wrap my brain around.
Of course.
I mean, I have not watched movies like The Purge because I'm a scaredy cat, but like I get that on a night where there's no rules. Yeah, like let's burn something down. But
Purge
that
is scary.
scene, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But I can see the way that people would turn to that when there's just chaos and no certainty.
Right.
But to go and pretend and like feign the existence of like your neighbor and to try to open the door and let them in like that,
Right.
super shady, and I hate that. But they knew that was coming and that these were not going to be altruistic, nice people on the other side of the door. So that attack, I think, kind of awakened Casey's hidden ninja skills, or at least kind of brought her back to that.
Correct.
But the fact that Nate, like, ran out the door, did you see him as leaving or as distracting?
Oh, absolutely leaving. He bolted. He was like a girl on the run. Let me run away from this. And so I wasn't surprised that he ran. What did you think?
Yeah, I think at one point she does question, like, well, maybe he was just trying to, like, lead the burners away from me, but that didn't work, so you should have come back.
I mean, really, I guess going back to kind of your point on the burners, what do they gain, really?
Right, nothing. That's like maybe a couple cans of beans that, like, they hadn't eaten yet. Like, that's what... I would understand them raiding and looting and plundering to get more supplies, but it didn't come across that way.
Right. I guess there's more power in numbers, and so if the world ends and there's zombie coming, like, just let's work together.
Well, right, at that point, you just be like, hey, wait, I wanna burn this apartment complex down too. Let's do it. I don't, like...
No.
Well, I mean, is that what Nate did? Like, he kind of joined forces, or at least... hung out with them for a while.
I ended up hating him so much.
It's so bad.
So much. What is it about that? But
So she does get out and
Right.
goes to look for the car, his precious Porsche, right?
yes.
Yeah, that was already infuriating. So his car is gone, and she's like, all right, well, maybe he is waiting around the corner, but this is what
Nothing.
we said we would do. We would meet here. So the fact that she still had her beat up rusty truck,
Right.
like, I'm glad. And that
Yes.
scene, like that exit from Chicago, I thought was really cool. And I could picture it mostly from other movies where I'm thinking I Am Legend, because that's in
Yes.
a big city as well. And like deer are frolicking across the streets because everything's grown over and there's cars everywhere. So even in her truck, the fact that she was able to maneuver, I think she said she was driving on sidewalks to
Right.
get around cars. I mean, I've been to Chicago. There would be a lot of cars that were just
lot.
left behind. So
Yes.
I can, like, it was very spooky for me reading this book. My word was stressful. This was a very stressful read for me. You were laughing at me because I was like, I'm too scared to read this at night. And you're like, what? You're so dumb. But I was stressed. Like it was definitely a page turner for
Yeah.
me in that essence, because I wanted to know what was coming next, but I didn't want to know what was coming next. So this was very different for me from our last book.
Oh, yeah.
I told you that I loved My Granny Killer because I didn't see it coming and I wasn't stressed.
Right.
When I'm sitting in the stress, like I was up really late at night reading because I just needed to know how it was going to be resolved. And like my husband is snoring next to me and I'm like, I got to get one more chapter. I got to get one more chapter. So this was a stressful read.
Yeah. I laugh only because it just, to me, again, and like we talked about before, it felt so far-fetched that I was like, there's no stressful about it. There's nothing scary about this. I don't know what it is.
So what do you think about Casey kind of tucking her tail between her legs and going back home? Because she, like, disowned her father and has been gone for a decade. her childhood was pretty traumatic.
Right.
Which we didn't learn the extent of the trauma until really late in the book.
Yes.
Because she witnessed her mother being savagely killed.
I know. That was so sad.
As like a 6-year-old girl.
Yes. That broke my heart.
Right.
Yes.
I feel like that came too late in this story, though, because I already hated Casey.
You did?
Yeah. She was the most obnoxious and ridiculous person. I was so annoyed with her. That's why my word juvenile, like, she was trapped in her little teenage mind.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is because of the trauma that she experienced.
Right.
I mean, that grief, that does something to you.
Of course.
Compounded with being bullied and teased and not having a childhood.
Correct.
Really. Mm-hmm. I mean,
sounded like she was working her whole childhood.
Right. Mm-hmm. Forced labor from her dad.
Yes.
Like, so I felt like she was very much stuck in this late teenager mindset the entire time. All of her thoughts, all of her actions, I thought were very teenagery.
Oh, I could see that. I felt there was a definite shift from her at the hospital. And as soon as she was headed to her dad's compound, it was like she became like, what happened to all of that training that you had? It's like you forgot all that maturity. It just seemed to like wipe out the windows and like it's gone. And so, yeah, I agree with that one.
Do you think that she had matured, though? I mean, she went to school and became a doctor and was like a woman of the world. I just still felt like she was not all there.
I'm sure. I mean, and imagine you lost your mom so young. You watched all of this, right? And then you have Blake. I don't think we've even talked about him yet, but, he bullied her. Like this, when I was thinking when they were talking about put cans in her locker and like, how sad, like to be bullied like that through school, like you're already traumatized by your mom and her death. And now you're dealing with bullies in school who are making fun of you because of your dad's way of life that you are living also. And so that had to be a really hard and heavy childhood.
Absolutely. Although I still had a hard time, and maybe it's just because I was fortunate to not be bullied. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I definitely was not a cool kid, but I wasn't on the receiving end of, like, harsh criticism or, like, making fun of. But I knew that I was different, like, just from the way that I was raised. So I always felt like I was an outsider. So I didn't identify with Casey in, like, anything. And that's why it was really hard for me to like her throughout the entire book.
Makes sense.
I was just really annoyed that it was all in her head. Mm-hmm. And so it was all of her voice. And I was just like, I'm just so annoyed the entire time.
I'm scared. I'm annoyed.
Right. I am stressed. You are stressing me out because of the way that you are handling these situations. I wanted to smack her at times. Yeah.
All right. So she is on her way from Chicago to her dad's. She gets there. And what did you expect she would find when she got there?
I definitely thought it would be like just her dad hunkered down and he would be in like crazy mode or like, I don't know. The fact that she was able to find a key to the gate based off of the paces and where they had hit it in a little rock, like I felt like they would have had better lookouts and she would have been, like, they would have seen her at the gate or something. Or maybe that was just like a heads up of like, oh, you should probably have a better system in place to watch when people are coming. So being welcomed in or being able to just unlock a padlock. I mean, you could have cutters and undo that. Like, that seemed like maybe this isn't as fortified as we thought.
True. Yeah. But they also were never actually impeded on. And so they've never had any of that come into their little, compound.
True. What do you think about the people that Dale kind of collected?
It was a lot of people. I'm like, was was he just trying to protect so many people? That's kind of how I felt at the end, where he was really a protector and was like, okay, I built this, and so I want to protect as many people and kind of band together and grow together. But I was surprised at the number of people. And specifically Blake, like, how did they become like best friends? Like, that whole thing that unfolded and how that unfolded was very surprising to me.
Yeah. The thing about having so many people there was that they needed so many more resources.
Yes.
So he had stockpiled food, but it was supposed to last several years, and it was only going to last 8 months or something like that. And it was like, well, okay, well, we can boot a couple people out. You don't have the same last name. You're not blood. Get on out. I don't know. How do you make that choice in the apocalypse?
I mean, I probably wouldn't. I probably would just feel bad and be like, we just need more. We need more help. We need more resources because we got to take shifts. People have to be up every hour. But then that means more runs, which is, you got to really, like, I do appreciate that they did these trainings. However, I'm like, they were a bit like, okay, all right, what is the point? You have no idea since you've never dealt with a zombie, how do you know how you're going to react? It's not like fighting a human.
Right. I was still confused because I feel like they were shooting them and that was working. But isn't that like not a thing for zombies? But these weren't like true zombies. So I don't know. Because aren't you supposed to like just cut their heads off? Or
yeah, it has to do with their brain or their head or their, there's not a heart there.
Right.
So,
but I didn't think that shooting them, like bullets, don't really do anything. That's why everybody has all the clubs and weird stuff.
Correct, yeah. So, like, you just got a baseball bat their head off.
So Blake, though, he was employed by Dale before the apocalypse.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So he was employed to kind of help with the reinforcements and
Correct.
like building stuff. So he had like put an ad on Craigslist and said, hey, I'm looking for somebody to help me with my bunker. And so that's how they actually got close. I did think it was funny that his dad was like, well, I didn't know it was that Blake. And her response was, how many Blakes are in this area? And I was like, okay, well, that's your 13-year-old self. Like, that was the dumbest thing.
Well, and then we find out later that she stopped telling her dad stuff. And so he didn't know the extent of how much she was hurt. So, come on, give the man a break.
I also, the whole, like, they were kind of boyfriend, girlfriend for a period, and, like, that was never really communicated, and I thought that should have been a little more significant when she's trying to make her choice at the end of the book between Blake and Nate.
Right.
And she's like, well, I've been with this man for 2 years, and I've had 20 minutes with this guy. I was just like, this is dumb. Your math your math doesn't make any sense here. But that relationship, I do want to ask you, what did you think? Blake ends up telling us what happened at that party. So they're at the party, and that's when he turns from being super nice Blake, and they're almost boyfriend, girlfriend. And then he gets a phone call, and then he turns into a jerk and starts making fun of her again.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand, like, what went on there.
Right. Did you have any guesses as to what that phone call was?
I didn't really, I guess I didn't, like, divulge or go, like, deep dive into that thought of, like, oh, his true colors are coming back out. Who knows? It might have been, like, someone mad at him and it just made his true colors come out from where they were.
I was trying to figure out what it could be. And in my brain, that whole situation where he's like wooing her, but that whole school year he had been nice and they were getting close. I really felt like it was going to be the punchline from She's All That. Do you remember that 90s movie?
Yep.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we remember that one.
Hot man then.
But he takes the nerd, like he was given a dare and said, like, I bet you can't get her to be the prom queen. And so he takes the nerd and, like, gets her to fall in love with him and makes her beautiful. And in the end, she realizes that it was just for a bet. And that's what I thought was coming in this.
That would make sense.
That he was, like, doing the long game, and then he got a phone call. And so I thought that the phone call was, like...
all bets are off.
Right. And I thought at that point it was more of a protecting her. Like, I'm not going to string this along any farther. Like, I'm done with this game. But the fact that then there was no resolution, there was no, like, hey, I'm an awful person, forgive me, and I do actually want to be with you. So, like, the prank was never realized.
Right.
So, but that's where my mind was going. And
Makes
she even
sense.
had another quote. I don't think I wrote it down. I put, like, a chapter, and I was supposed to go back and find it. But she had said something about somebody else. She was talking about what her cousin was doing with Molly and, like, stringing her along.
Yeah.
And she's like, you just need to, like, put her out of her misery now because it'll just hurt her more in the end. And everything that she said in that moment, I was like, that sounds like what Blake was doing.
Yeah.
Cutting it off there so that, because he did truly care about her.
Yeah.
But didn't want to hurt her more. And in his final explanation of that, that really was the truth. He didn't want her to get close to his dad because his dad was a schmuck.
Right.
And so it really was providing distance to protect her from his dad. All in this very dumb teenager logical way. But, like, as soon as she said that about Molly, I was like, oh, yeah, so Blake isn't an awful person. Like, he was a bad guy.
Right.
Not the nicest teenager to be around, but he had his own trauma.
Correct.
Which we finally learn about late in the book as well.
Correct.
Because his mom died from cancer.
Correct.
His dad was awful and took it out on him. And then you find that Blake joined the military and became a Navy SEAL,
Yes.
which is incredible.
Awesome.
And that really shows a complete flip in character. Like,
Makes sense.
they train you up and, like, you're not allowed to be a schmuck anymore. So I do feel like the new Blake on the other side of the apocalypse is a good person, but they're still, like, going at it and bickering back and forth, and it's just like,
I know.
this is so annoying.
It just, again, I felt like there's so much that when he was making fun of her, I thought of he was like the middle school boy that's making fun of the girl, like that likes the girl, you know, and it's like, boys, learn this. They don't like that. You're not going to catch a girl by being mean to her. And then when they still are bickering as like grown adults. I just am like, I don't understand.
Right. They were stuck in the high school hallways. Like, that was it.
Yes.
I did laugh. She had a quote that she said, I may have been wrong about the apocalypse, but I'm not wrong about him. You are. And I do chuckle that she said she was wrong about the apocalypse and her dad was right, and it was good to be prepared.
Yeah.
But I'm not wrong about Blake.
Well, she probably felt that. I mean, that was, in those moments, it probably felt like I'm not wrong about him. He is still that jerk that's going to make fun of me. But yet here he is helping my dad. Like, how can you be helping my dad when you think this is all a joke and this is all just like poke fun at? So, I mean, a lot of that.
They go on the hospital run to go and get supplies so that they can save Elaine.
Yes, because she needed insulin.
And what did you think was going to happen on that trip?
I mean, I thought someone was going to die. Yeah, I was like, someone's going to die. There's got to be some more twists and turns. They're definitely going to get attacked in some form or fashion. Didn't know what it looked like. It was much different than I thought because whenever Blake froze, I was like, what is going on? Wake up. Aren't you doing all this training for this? And here you are in this moment and you're just frozen. And Casey had to help snap you out of it.
Yeah. Did you have any idea what? I mean, he does end up saying it was because he knew the person, but that wasn't the first time that he froze.
Right.
Like, he froze when they walked into the hospital. And I did they explain that in the book? I feel like that was the hospital that his mom was at.
Oh, there was something I remember had to do with his mom. That might be right.
But I think it said that they had moved. So that's where they moved after his mom died. So I don't know that it would have been that hospital.
But they moved because she said that they went to school and Dad still lived in the same place. So that would make sense. Did they move after Mom?
I think that Blake's family moved after his mom died so that he could start fresh somewhere else.
But I'm saying is Dale's in the old, where were they at?
Yeah.
That area.
That was her house. That was,
Correct.
I mean, the compound.
And so then maybe he moved back on his own.
But it was like they walked into the hospital and there was a statue.
That reminded him of something.
Yeah. And like that's where he first got into his funk. And so I don't understand that. And then freezing while they're upstairs and somebody's coming after him.
Right.
Which, I mean, what would you do in that situation?
It's
It's somebody that you know who is now turned into a zombie.
I mean, I hope that you would just take a bat and just save your life. I mean, really, because it's not just yours. You're also with other people. And if you can't save yourself, how are you going to save anybody else?
But then you pull into the fact that it was a military buddy and somebody that had saved his life. And, ooh, there's a lot of layers there.
I mean, really, you think about that whole scope of that whole scene. He has all reasons to freeze, but still, like, it was like, hello, snap, like, freeze for a moment, take a minute, but then wake up.
Do you need me to kill him? I'll kill him.
Yes.
Move out of the way.
Yes.
But then he thought that he was protecting Casey.
How?
Right. Like, I was very, very confused.
Yes.
I also was very, very nervous because they split up in the hospital. And I was like, guys, you've watched horror movies. We do not split up. No. All 4 of you need to go together.
Correct.
2 of you are going to get swarmed by like a massive group of these things. No way. You just walked in. You don't know what you're up against. Please all travel together. I was like shouting at them. Guys, we don't do that.
You would never split up. Never go your separate ways.
No.
Cover more ground. Nope, do it together.
Well, and then I was worried because she went into the medication room by herself.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if I just like blinked and like went a couple paragraphs ahead or what. And I was like, wait, was there one in that room with her that she didn't know about? But then it was when she came out.
Right.
Blake was gone and she was looking for him. It was stressful. But like, it was smart to go and get all of the backup supplies. I also was like, couldn't there be a smaller, like, podunk doctor's office?
Sure.
Or, like, a smaller urgent care? Why do you have to go to the main hospital? I understand that the hospital is going to have the biggest drug supply, but maybe, just maybe, branch out to a small facility first and take a look.
Well, maybe, but they also had already pretty much realized that a lot of those things have already been picked over. So they were already saying, like, oh, well, we've already checked there. We've already checked there. And so she's like, what about hospitals? Because that's going to have the most of what she needs. Because she only had 2 days left of her supply. So they couldn't really waste time trying to decide, like, does this,
Right, we need a sure thing.
Correct.
Yeah, I know I already ranted about this, but why was the hospital still overrun with creatures 7 or 8 weeks after this all went down? Like, they should have been dead, or they should have,
They were already
been picked
dead.
clean.
And were they going to eat each other?
Like, the other food supplies hadn't been raided yet. Like, I don't know. I felt like a lot of that was unrealistic. What did you think about them escaping down the elevator shaft and then the zombies, like, plummeting to their doom?
I liked that action. That was fun.
They were like splattering on the top of the elevator. I was like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another.
That's all I envisioned was like, boop, boop,
right. I'm picturing lemmings just like walking off a cliff and like, oops, whoops.
Yeah.
But I was glad that they were able to all survive that. I mean,
right.
Blake was bit, so that was kind of big sad.
Sure.
What did you think? I knew that he was like the enemies to lovers, so he has to like
he's gonna survive.
They've talked about there's a second book, so I was like, all right, well, he's going to survive. And is that believable? I don't know. I mean, Casey survived her bite, so we knew that was possible.
Right. And then they realize in that, because through all that, they start talking about the burners, the biters, and then the gnomes. So, like, you could go into gnomes of, like, not remembering things, right? And so there's the different people that she's kind of created the names for. And then where in there do you become then the biter, right? So they kind of talked about, okay, wait, so I could become a gnome, I could become a biter, or I could just have, like, a really bad headache, feel really bad, and then be okay.
I'm curious in the second book how that plays out, because I feel like Casey was like coming to some conclusions and had a couple different hypotheses about like, well, what if, because I haven't been around a gnome long enough to be able to do any research on them.
Do they turn?
Right.
Yeah.
So
good
I
question.
think that in the next book, we're going to find that you can go back and forth between the different stages, which also makes me wonder about the people who were bit, who didn't turn, what's going to happen.
Oh.
Because Casey and Blake were both bitten. So, like, is there something that is more of like a delayed trigger? And that could be another type of person. So it's not just no memory or a biter. Like, there could be a new phase. Is there another phase of zombiedom?
Not that I know of. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Could they be the zombies skipping along together? I don't know. That would be crazy.
I don't know, but I feel like
Suspend the belief.
there needs to be some sort of realization, whether that's a cure or something. Like maybe biters just need to be bit by a gnome to make them change back to a gnome, or I don't know. There's got to be something.
Something.
I'm here for it.
I mean, I'm glad to know we never really touched on it, but I can't remember his name. The guy who shot himself because he thought
Chris.
Maybe.
Chris. I think it was Chris.
Because I was glad to know, like, when he shot himself because he thought that there was no other way. It was good for all of them to know, like, wait, that's not. And then when she showed her arm, I'm like, this is good for them to realize, like, it's not like the end of the world when you're going to die. And I could imagine the scare that man had thinking, I'm going to go after my family. I need to just end it right now.
I find it very hard to believe that that's not something that she said when she got there. Like, was she nervous that they wouldn't accept her because she had been bitten? That was 6 weeks ago. It was literally 6 weeks ago. So, I mean, it wasn't like, hey, guys, I was just bit. Let me in. Throw me in the cage.
Maybe she's got immunity. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, right.
Who knows? Like, maybe when you get bit and you become, like, nothing, maybe you're just some of the few that have this, like...
genetic thing. That's what I'm talking about. In the next
be
book, that's kind of I Am Legend-ish, because that character, it's his DNA that he ends up using as part of the vaccine to cure.
Oh, okay.
It was animals that he was doing like lab testing on with his own DNA, because he's the only one that survived this attack. So now I'm like, well, she's a doctor. Like, she could be doing some of these experiments as well. If you've been bitten and you didn't turn, there's got to be some reason for that. So
who knows? You might
like
have to go
find a new, or like a lab that they could get into and try to run some tests.
Told you, next thing you know, it's going to be like Spider-Man. You got the bite, and now you're going to be some magical.
Superhuman, yes.
All right.
Like super zombie.
super
anti-zombie.
If you bite, you are the one who cures the others.
Right?
You suck up the blood of... Who knows?
That could be it. You just become a vampire. Okay, got it.
All right, so we did find out later after the scene they're in. Is it a sauna? Is that actually what it is? Kind of like the room downstairs. He got bit. They kind of put him into this.
He's in
room.
a holding cell.
Yeah, a holding cell. He's in this holding cell. I don't know what it. I'm envisioning.
It could have been a sauna.
I'm like thinking
it's like a jail.
A jail. So he's in this holding cell. I'm envisioning a sauna because I mean, how do you have a jail? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it was a bunker that they made specifically for this purpose.
Who knows? He might have put a jail down there.
Right.
So they're down there. You realize that Blake, he professes his love. We did come to terms with just chapter 29 had the spicy. You could literally skip that whole chapter, and all you're going to miss is that Blake professes his love, and she pretty much jumps on top of it.
Yes. Well, and that was in our TLDR episode. We had given the spice warning and said this is a 3 chili pepper spice. Yeah. And some of the reviews that I had read had been like, that's crazy. It's more of like a 1.5, 2, maybe.
Right.
So we're talking about one open door scene.
Correct. In one chapter.
Correct. I will say, there is an awful lot of sexual innuendo throughout the entire book.
Yes.
And that's also where I label this as juvenile, because there was a lot of physical touches and bodily reactions happening. And I was like,
even at the hospital, right? Yeah.
right. I'm like, okay, stop. This is annoying. Do people in real life talk like this? No. Like, no. Never have I ever said any of these words. Stop.
Oh, I know. There were some that I'm like, what? That's crazy.
That just felt like Jeneva Rose wanted to get on the spice train.
Sure.
And it just didn't feel natural to me. But I'm also not a smut reader. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of tolerance for that. So I just roll my eyes a lot and skip ahead. I'm like, oh, the bulge in his pants. I'm just like, get out of here. Like, nobody talks like this. I'm done. I can't handle it.
No. So, I felt that I understood why some of them came back and said, oh, maybe a 1 or 2, because it literally is one chapter, but you pull all the innuendos together. I mean, mind you, there is a little bit of language. There's a little bit of, obviously, gore. There's, you find a lot of that out. But skip that chapter and you'll be okay. But know that they are still, you understand. I mean, as adults, married adults, we understand what's going on.
Yes. I think it's also helpful that this book isn't enemies to lovers, because they're enemies up until the point. So you're not getting multiple sex scenes. You're not getting multiple interactions. They hate each other. They hate each other. They hate each other. And, oh, now I kind of like you.
Yeah.
Or I really like you.
Okay. So this is where it gets interesting. Because I didn't expect this next one. So they wake up. Is it Tessa who comes and knocks on the door?
Yes.
Right? After she had told everybody, like, don't come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted to talk about Tessa for a second.
Yes.
Because when we talked about what would you do if a zombie was a person that you knew, Tessa's the one who killed her boyfriend.
Yes.
Because he was cheating on her, and then he got bitten, and
she's like, bye.
She's like, nope, I'm not taking any chances. You're a zombie. Bye.
Bye. I mean, it probably felt good.
Right. It felt very karma, kismet,
Vindication.
very, yes.
I mean, that's the ultimate vindication. But if he's going to turn into a zombie, I mean, can't take our chances.
Right. Okay. Tessa comes in. They're in a compromising situation in their cell.
Yes.
Not fully clad.
Right. And so she's like, hey, there's a guy here that says he's your fiance. And it's like, what? I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect him to come back. Actually, honestly, I thought he was gone and he was dead. And so that was a little bit of it was an okay twist. I mean, it wasn't super thrilling, but it was a surprise.
It was definitely a surprise, although I was having trouble going from the audiobook to the physical book. And so I was like scrubbing ahead in the book to try to figure out where I was. And I feel like I heard the word Nate again, and I was like, Nate? And then when I got into the book, and I was like, oh, he's back. Awesome. So the love triangle in the apocalypse is pretty unrealistic because, you're down to slim pickings.
Sure.
Just take what you can.
Right.
Did you buy his story? Did you feel like...
No, I told you, I thought he just bolted. But what I didn't get is why he was back. Right? Why is he there? Like, there's got to be a reason why he's there.
I was very confused because didn't she still not tell him everything? Well, I guess she did.
Yeah, she did.
She had a moment of weakness and told him about her prepper father.
Correct.
And he was trying to say, like, we need to get out of here. We need to go visit your dad. And she was holding out and didn't want to go.
In that 6 weeks, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's where I was like, but he didn't know anything about this place. She didn't tell him, but okay, she did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a very selfish thing.
Of course.
I wasn't seeing into the whole plan and the plot, but he seemed very self-centered from the beginning of the book, and running away, like that felt like he was out for himself.
Correct.
And so running to the bunker, I just felt like his way of saving himself. So I didn't see it as selling out the bunker, but every mention of Dr. Warner
Oh, it was so annoying.
made me go, okay, he's still a schmuck, and there's something more to this.
Right. The minute that he said, call me Dr. Warner, I was like, calculated. Where is it? What is he doing? There's something behind all of this.
Right. Because she had even said that she made somebody call her Dr. whatever her last name is, Pearson, Dr. Pearson. And she's like, I hate doing that. Like, I feel like a prick when I do that. Or like,
Right.
I think she was telling Blake to call her Dr. Pearson. And she's like, yeah, maybe for my enemy, but I feel weird anytime that I'm not in the hospital and I correct somebody that way.
Yes.
So the fact that he repeatedly did it, I was like, okay, no, this is my sign that he's still a bad guy. And I don't know what he's going to do.
Right.
So as soon as he asked to take a walk and for her to go with him to walk to the car, I was like, this sounds dangerous. This sounds like...
Why he had the key to open the... Like, I was like, what did he... I honestly, in my head, was thinking he killed someone to get that key. There's no way someone's just handing it over to him.
Right. That felt very strange.
Yes.
Again, that there's one key that opens one little lock.
Correct. Yeah, I don't...
The burners can come and clip that. Like, there's nothing... That's not realistic. You need the barbed wire. You need, like, a barricade. You need reinforcements. One little padlock, not going to cut it.
And the fact that he was able to find it from, it doesn't seem like she gave that much information. Like, how did he find it? Because I mean, maybe she had the address written somewhere. I don't know.
Yep, he found it. But even I need to go for a walk, she would have told somebody, like, that they were going. And I felt like she didn't. Like, if you're going outside the compound, you need to be prepared. Like, you need to have a weapon. If she had throwing stars on her, but it felt like that was all she had.
Right.
And it was like, you don't leave the compound unprepared. And you should probably tell the other people that you are leaving. And maybe a third person would have come. But, I mean, he was making it not sound like a big deal. But I was very suspicious, especially... I don't know. In my brain, they were just walking to the car to, like, grab stuff. And so when they sat in the car, I was like, oh, this feels bad. Like, it was ominous when she sank down into the low-profile seats. And I was like, she's not getting out of that car, and he's not driving back.
No. I was like, is he going to kill her? I mean...
Right.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
I thought that he wanted to take some rage out on her because I thought that he thought... she left him.
Right. I actually, for some of it, thought, okay, he knows about, he knows about Blake. For some reason, in my mind, I was like, when they were fighting, that whole fight scene, they were, like, showing their male dominance. And then when he was like, let's take a walk, it almost felt like I was like, okay, what is going on? Does he know about all of that? Because, I mean, like, even when he was in the shower, I think they kissed, right?
Who they?
When Nate was in the shower, Blake and Casey kissed. Yes. Yeah. And so, like, I'm like, did he see that? Is he going to talk to her about that? Like, so all these things were going through my head.
Yeah. I did not believe that he had sold out the compound. And so when that all clicked, I mean, he's crying, they were going to kill me. They were going to kill me. And she's like, so?
And?
So... Okay.
I mean, your life versus all these other people.
Right. And where are you two going to run off to? Like, where are you going to go survive?
They just took over the only house that you have that has all the supplies you could ever need, and she knows the whole territory.
Right.
What are you
made
thinking?
No sense. I mean, that was, again, he's just always looking out for himself. And
yes,
so it's just like, I would punch him too. I would throw a throwing star at you too.
And yes. So sorry, your little Porsche is wrapped around a
beautiful Porsche,
wrapped around a tree, or bye.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yeah, I could put him out of his misery." I can't remember her exact words, but basically, like, he deserves a slow death.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she ends up running back injured and going back to save the day.
I know. It was. I'm glad she went back, but I mean, really, it made me like. Man, that would be so hard because you know that they're all getting ready to be attacked because you just heard the walkie say, like, thanks for leaving the gate open. Basically, you know they're already there. And what are you as one person going to do about it?
Well, and she was a slow runner, and she was a mile away. Well, she was more than a mile because they drove fast in the other direction. So she had multiple miles to make up as a slow runner. So plenty of time had passed by the time that she got there. I mean, there's so many different things. I don't think we need to get completely into the details. We're going there. But the unfolding of that attack and how she's teaming up with Tessa and Molly.
Yeah.
I thought that Molly was going to be the one that ran to the building because she was the cross-country runner. Right. She was the fast one who, like, lapped them and was done with training super fast.
Yes.
So I thought that she was going to say, no, I have to be the one to run. It's my boyfriend who's up in the tower.
It's true.
And so I don't know why they didn't, because Casey would have been a better shot and, like, could have had better cover for her running. And so I was like, wait, why did you not send the runner?
Yes.
You sent the injured person who's, like, on a wobbly leg. Like
hobbling along. Right.
This makes lots of sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it was more that Molly wouldn't be prepared to, like, take somebody out violently because she had already freaked out. Like, I've never killed a person.
Yeah, well, what you do for love. I mean.
Well, right. She was infatuated with Greg, so she would have killed somebody in that tower.
Yeah, that was a good little story on their point, too, you know.
Yeah.
One night stand to lovers.
Oof.
Again, unrealistic.
Yes.
But it is the end of the world, so here we go.
Okay, so they take over the sniper tower.
Correct.
And they go back to the main house. They come across the ladies who are tied up. She goes down into the basement and finds Blake, who was tied up or in the jail cell again.
Yes.
Did you think that was likely? I feel like he was taken down way too easily.
I mean, did he just say, I surrender?
Yeah, I was very confused.
Because I was like, don't you carry weapons all the time? I mean, I guess if I'm sleeping with weapons on me all the time, multiple, everywhere, strapped.
Yes.
And so it did seem very easy.
Yeah.
Too easy.
He was already imprisoned. That just didn't make sense to me. So she ends up getting him out of there, and then he goes into super seal mode and like puts the mud on his face and is super sneaky. But the ending, and you've got the burners making them dig their own burn pit, and
like they're gonna.
That was a lot.
It was a lot. It was very, very heavy, and I felt like that was so quick. Like it was like they're doing all this, and it was like a short, like, I mean, was it like a chapter really that they're like they're gonna die, they're gonna burn, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was gruesome to the most. And so when they all ended up, like, not everyone survived, but when most of them survived, I was surprised because I thought there's no way they're getting out of this.
Right. So we learned that Dad dies.
Yes.
That was sad.
That was so sad.
But in the end, he fulfilled his mission. He wasn't able to save his wife.
He saved his daughter.
He saved his daughter. And that was his whole purpose with the prepping, was to protect her and to make sure that she survived and to teach her how to survive and to create her own new world. So I do think that the unfolding of that and her realization of, like, what prepping actually meant to her father.
Right.
I'm sad that all of that trauma didn't come out until the very end of the book. Because it was like a couple chapters before he dies that we actually learn all of that.
Correct.
And at Chris's funeral, I think they're dealing with death. And so that's what brings up all of these emotions. And like I said, I was too far gone in not liking Casey for me to now feel sorry for her. And it was like, oh, okay, well, that is really sad and it is really traumatic, but you've been annoying, so I'm sorry. I'm not overcoming that with this sob story. And that, I don't know, that's where the enemies to lovers, that transition of her realizing that she does love this guy, like, everything felt really fast and very rushed. I don't know.
I know. And then even when the dad says, like, I'm sorry I ruined your childhood, and she's like, you didn't. And so I was like, that was the closure in that moment that she needed,
Yeah.
you know? And so, see, I didn't have that, like, you're so annoying. I thought, oh, all right, I'm along for this ride. Come on.
Well,
let's
that
go,
was
Casey.
her, like, finally maturing to realize, oh,
True.
you didn't ruin my life.
Right. And she also had gone over the whole Blake thing. They are finally, he literally saves her in so many different ways. And so you're right. She sheds a lot of layers in that small amount of time. And so she sheds the layer of Blake bullying her. She sheds the layer of a lot of the death because she's actually able to verbalize it. Mm-hmm. And then at the very end, she sheds that layer of whatever she felt towards her dad for her childhood not looking like what she envisioned it should have looked like.
Yeah. Okay. Epilogue.
Oh.
How many months or weeks down the road? It was like 6 months,
I was going to say
it?
it was 6.
I think it's 6 months.
Yes.
So they're surviving. They're thriving. And there's a wedding.
I
And
know.
it's beautiful. What did you think about that?
She wore what
her prom dress.
Yeah, I just loved all that. I mean, the wedding dress, was it her
It was her mom's wedding dress.
Yes, and so.
And it was the prom dress she had bought when she thought she would be going with Blake to prom before he broke her heart.
Instead, she's going to go to a wedding with it.
Right? But I also had the thought, in that again, like, you don't leave the compound without weapons. You don't get fully dressed up and dolled up in a beautiful dress without weapons either.
No.
So I'm curious. So, I mean, we knew going into this that this book ended with a cliffhanger.
Correct.
And Jeneva Rose has said there is a second book. Mm-hmm. It's coming. Mm-hmm. And so the very last page of the book, we're seeing a semi off the side of the road and people getting out of it and setting up snipers.
Yes,
like,
and guns are blazing, right?
And so as soon as I saw everybody, well, I was suspicious. Okay, maybe you were too. But we've got all of these people. They're all dressed up and fancy. And then there's the one new girl who wanted to go back to the kitchen to, like, make sure that the food was going to be ready for the...
That's when she's like, come in, guys.
I'm suspicious about her. Uh-huh. I mean, she was a military
100%.
person and was a blessing for this compound. Like, she came in a time of need, but that felt very suspicious.
Of course, you've got to try to make it work. You got to be a blessing, and then they're going to accept you, and then we're turning on them and we're taking over.
Right. We're going to catch them unawares. They're all in ball gowns. How are they going to run in their stupid high heels or whatever?
Without weapons? I mean, come on.
Right.
Why are they that dumb? I told you I'd be sleeping, and there's no way I'm going to have my prom dress with its belt full of weapons.
Oh, right. I'm going to be like Lara Croft and have, like, the double holsters underneath.
Absolutely. And I'm shaving my head because my hair might be in my way, and I don't want anybody to pull it. So let's go. I mean.
Yes. So I think that chick is going to be bad in the second book.
Oh, that makes complete sense, and I would agree with that.
Do you have any predictions moving forward?
I don't know. You're onto something with what's going on with the biters and the gnomes. There's got to be something in there. Or maybe she just leaves it at that. And the twist of the story is that this whole, like, they're fighting against getting their compound back against all these people. But that couldn't be a big book. Like, that could be a story inside of the book. But it's got to be like, what's past that? Because obviously they're going to survive. Casey and Blake are going to survive. Maybe they die at the end. I don't know, but...
Well, that's just it. I feel like the whole we've been bitten thing is going to come back to bite them.
Yeah. Pun intended.
Very much intended.
But yeah, there's got to be something more to that. So yeah, I think you're onto something.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so what did you think of the cover?
I think the cover is quite comical.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels lighthearted to me. I mean, I enjoy it. I'm not picturing zombies correctly. So the fact that there's like a bunch of them and they're all over the place. But you do have the fires as well. Mm-hmm. So you've got the burners and the biters all over the place. So.
And there they are running.
Yep.
I didn't even notice that until right now.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I envision like the hospital. This is the city. This is a whole bunch going on. It makes sense. All of it is it goes together. I like the coloring. It's kind of fun. It's kind of almost to me like a sun setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I can see it. I would pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
It's very appealing. It's like, all right, this looks good. But yeah, I like it. Okay. Anything else? Did we miss anything?
I think that sufficiently covers this
I think
book.
we did probably miss things, and if you haven't more to say, please, send us a message and let's, chat about it.
Definitely. Spotify offers comments now, so you can leave comments on specific
Wonderful.
episodes, and we try to put a poll up for every episode. So I am trying to think about, I already labeled. Oh, I don't remember. We'll come up with something good. Trust us. Go find it and answer the poll.
Yeah, I mean, really, because I love to hear other people's point of views on these because they read them from a different scope. Just like you and I, we read these completely differently. So that's why I'm really excited to hear, how did you rate the book? What did you, I heard a lot of what you thought of the book.
Yeah.
But, all right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
Okay, so I told you I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead. So this very much so felt like pages right out of some series. One of them, there's always lovers or somebody tying in, and it's kind of fast paced. I felt like there was so much of this enemies to lovers felt very unrealistic. And again, it's the end of the world. I don't know. But the fact that it's she went from having a fiance to obviously jumping in bed with this other guy that was her bully of her whole life, that did not feel real to me. But I enjoyed the gruesome, I enjoyed the gore, I enjoyed the zombies and, all that they were about. It was exhausting. I felt exhausted reading this. That running must be exhausting. Mm-hmm. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was really fast paced. I would highly recommend it. I'd get a 4.2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. I'm torn because I did overall enjoy this book. Mm-hmm. But I was very annoyed. And like you said, the enemies to lovers was not realistic to me. And it was very annoying because you were hearing Casey's thoughts and everything was, this guy is the worst. This guy is the worst. But did you know he's the worst? And every sassy comment that she did back, all of her retorts were just so dumb and juvenile and about this man ruined my life. Do you remember? Did I tell you that before? Yes, he ruined your life. Got it. And like you said, she went from being engaged. She didn't even think about him at all. Once he disappeared, there was no mention of Nate until he showed up. There was nothing. So it was if she actually loved him, there would have been some sadness. There would have been some grieving, even though she didn't want to tell anybody that she had a fiance. I mean, she kind of told Tessa. Tessa knew there was a man, but she said they broke up. But she didn't spend any time grieving this fella. So the fact that when she, was weighing her options, she went with him, I was that, you weren't even sad that he was gone, and you're going to choose this as your life partner? Okay, he's not equipped for an apocalypse. Stop. Don't choose him. So I was mad at her almost the entire time. It was fun. Again, the romance aspect of it, the spiciness of it, the innuendo, I just felt was needless. Mm-hmm. You could literally take it out and you would still get all of the tension. So that's where I am going to say 3.8.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Because I enjoyed it.
Yes.
It stretched me.
Yeah.
Because, we've done, not horror. We did, Silent Patient, where that's, psychological thriller.
Yes.
This is the gore and the gruesome. But, like I said, it's opposite from our Granny one,
right,
where you didn't see it coming. I was stressed. And so that was, I was staying up late because my heartbeat was going while I'm reading and was I can't stop now. I can't stop now. If that's your jam, then this is your book.
All right. Well, I liked it a lot.
I will say Jeneva Rose provided her 3 words to describe this book in one of the interviews that I came across. Actually, there were 5 words. She said gory, funny, sexy, emotional, and unhinged.
Okay. All right.
Did you feel it was emotional?
I mean,
I feel at the end when we started getting the traumas, that I started feeling a little emotional, but again, it was too late for me.
There's some, was it like you're saying, she's trying to get into the spice because it's kind of popular. I mean, it is something that's kind of popular. And maybe she was a little far-fetched. Like, you stay in your lane. You do a really good job. Stay in that lane. It's okay. You don't have to bring all those other parts. But I did enjoy it. I guess you're right. The emotional at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more note is that she says she has an untitled horror project releasing next fall, 2026. And then her next thriller is called The Real Lives of Serial Killer Wives.
Wow.
And that's for 2027.
So when is this, the next one coming out for this?
I mean, this book just came out. This was in October 2025.
Yes.
So I'm going to guess we're going to have to wait to find out.
It sounds like 2028.
Right. If she's got another one, yeah.
And she's got that baby.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This was a lot. This is a long episode for us.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
I guess this book was actually pretty short. I didn't think we would have that much to say about it. But you know what? We're going to keep reading.
And keep ranting.
And remember, you're so approachable.
Okay, the episode is over. If you enjoyed it, could you give us a thumbs up or leave a review?
It goes a long way toward helping us grow and meet new people like you.
Subscribe to get notified when the next episode drops.
You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next, recommend new books, and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board.